Holiday season is full of tradition, family, and friends. And for so many here in Michigan, taking a trip to Frankenmuth is part of what makes this time of year so special. What better setting for a beautiful Christmas love story? The Wishing Bridge, coming out early this week. The latest novel from our friend, best-selling author Wade Rouse, who writes under the pen name Viola Shipman. He's here to tell us more about this newest Christmas story. Thanks so much for being here, Wade.
Thanks for having me. I always say it just snowed, so we can talk Christmas books now. It's appropriate.
I feel like Christmas is just upon us. You know, Janice flipped the switch and we had the Christmas music on.
It is on.
Yeah.
So I feel it's time to talk about the Wishing Bridge.
All right, so tell us about the story.
It's set in, as you said, Frankenmuth, which, you know, there were two places in Michigan I'd never visited. People said I had to go to. One was Mackinac Island, loved. The other was Frankenmuth, loved. Visited and just fell in love with the setting. If people, I know everybody in Michigan knows it's a Bavarian village, full-on Christmas, you know, a glockenspiel dueling, chicken restaurants, and of course Bronner's. I walked in and spent an IRA on decorations.
For sure.
But I knew it was a perfect setting for a book, and I knew I had to set one there. So that kind of inspired the whole story behind the Wishing Bridge.
I love that. It really is the perfect Christmas village. So talk about, you know, where you're finding the inspiration for this story. It's kind of coming home, and talk about how, you know, that's wonderful for many people, but oftentimes it brings some challenges.
It's exactly, you just really nailed it on the head. That's exactly it. You know, this is inspired, all of my novels are inspired by a deeply personal family memory, and this was as well. And oddly enough, I got a Zillow notification that my childhood home in the Ozarks was for sale. And it kind of threw me down a wormhole again, because growing up, the holidays with my grandmother were kind of the center of my life. You know, she decorated her home, she bought so many presents, she had to cut a path through her living room. I baked with her, made sugar cookies, but one of our biggest traditions was watching A Charlie Brown Christmas.
Oh, yes.
And one of the traditions that started was we would go to the tree farm and we would cut a tree, but then we started to dig up a tree. And my grandma would take it home, set it on her Formica dining room table, and watch us bake. But then we'd take it after the holidays were over and we planted it in my parents' yard. And I did that for many years, and I looked at that Zillow notification, those trees were giant. And my grandmother said when we planted the first one, it's amazing what can grow with a little love. And that really started me thinking about, as you said, going home again. And as we age, sometimes those holiday memories are hard for us because we leave home, or the people we love age, or we lose them. And this is really about celebrating the magic and meaning of Christmas. And if we have that foundation in our lives, it can carry us through even the most difficult of times. And you know, I think it's the most beautiful book that I've ever written, and I just really hope that it gives people, especially in this tumultuous world, just a little rope of hope that they need right now.
I think we all need that, and I am literally so emo right now. You're like breaking me down, Wade. This is just a question for me. I want to know how you put out these books so quickly, and obviously you say this one is one of your most important books to you, and you pull from so many of your own personal experiences. How do you get this done?
We were joking. It's meds that are, you know, I'm a writer that writes from the heart. I always say I'm not going to be one of those authors that goes into the Library of Congress and locks myself in for months at a time and does research. I think I'm like you, or like so many people, readers. Memories mean something to us, and yet sometimes they're difficult to explore. And that's where I start. I feel very blessed. You know, my whole life I always wanted to be an author, and it's a career that you're not often told you can do, like what you're doing. And I work hard, and I have an incredible set of readers out there, not only in Michigan, but across the U.S. that appreciate the foundation of these books, which, as you said, is coming home. It's an appreciation of what matters most in this world, and that's simple things and each other. And we forget that, and I hope the Wishing Bridge reminds people of that.
Oh man, I'm sure it will. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. And I do love the Michigan aspect. You know, we are so lucky to have you be, you know, our local author, you know, sharing all of these wonderful stories based in our fabulous Mitten State.
There is no more beautiful place. You know, we had a dream vacation to Greece recently. I came back here.
The photos were amazing.
It was stunning. But then you come back here and you go up and down the West Coast, and I'm not exaggerating, it's just as beautiful here. And to bring that to life, not only for readers in Michigan, but across the world, it's very special to me.
Yeah, we do have special places in Frankenmuth. Absolutely one. I can't believe you hadn't been there.
I had not been there, and it was, you put pressure on yourself that it's going to disappoint you, and it did not. And if people love Frankenmuth, the history of Bronner's, the town, the glockenspiel chiming, the wooden bridge plays a very important part of it. The woolen mill, dueling chicken restaurants.
Right.
It's all in there, and I think people are going to love it.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Okay, so when is the book out? When people get their hands on this?
It's out tomorrow on Tuesday, so order away. You have one of the best bookstores right in your own backyard in Schuler's, and I hope you love it. And come see me on tour, and we'll be celebrating this all throughout the holidays.
I love it, Wade. Thank you so much for taking time to sit with us. Get your hands on this. You want to get in the Christmas spirit. You want to feel all the feels. The Wishing Bridge, right there. ViolaShipman.com. You want to learn more about him and all of his other novels. Thanks so much, Wade.
Thank you.